I don't take it very seriously, it's just Judy Won Pat protecting her job.
That was former Senator Bob Klitze responding to Speaker Judy Won Pat's recent weekly address about a part-time legislature. Klitze, who introduced a part-time legislature bill when he was in office, felt Won Pat's comments about certain individuals having deceptive and sinister objections to reducing the legislature to a part-time basis was directed at him. However, Won Pat says that's not true. All she is arguing is that Guam's full-time legislature is more efficient, transparent, and accessible since it's been reduced to 15 senatorial seats.
Not just the introduction of all kinds of bills. There are public hearings that are going on, oversights that are going on, roundtables that are going on, updates that are going on, emergency situations that's happening in the community that we'll be able to address immediately and not put on hold, because you can't put an emergency on hold and wait until you're having session.
But Klitze argues there's a big difference between activity and accomplishments. In fact, he encourages some of the current senators who previously supported the part-time legislature to introduce the measure.
Several of them said, I favor a part-time legislature. Well, if they favor a part-time legislature, this would be a real good time to introduce a bill to establish what I'd call a citizens' legislature.
The speaker highlights the bipartisan efforts going on at the legislature, but she can't help but question the motives in bringing up a part-time legislature and asks, what is the real issue?
Maybe the big question has to be asked here, really. The really big question, what is the real issue that we're talking about? And maybe we need to ask those who are pushing it. Is it money? Because if it's money, we can show you where we went from then, 21 to 15. We went from maybe a $20 million budget to now, $7 million.
In the end, Klitze believes the legislature isn't a place for career politicians, and having lawmakers on a part-time basis leaves room for efficiency and others to maintain other jobs at the same time. But Won Pat responds saying she and others aren't doing this to be a career politician, and she adds there's nothing part-time about serving the people.
A good way to look at a legislature is that it's a civic duty, like jury duty or voting or maybe doing a hitch in the Army or something like that. And I did my hitch. I am not a career politician. I never wanted to be a career politician. I think there are literally hundreds of people in this community who would make very good senators if they didn't have to stop working and become career politicians.
If a teacher wants to serve, then, and we think that the classroom is critical too, will the teacher be able to be out for 90 days, when the teacher's needed in the classroom? Would a waiter from, a restaurant, would the employer let that waiter go for 90 days? You have to really ask all these questions, so there are pros and cons to all of these.